Hello there, welcome back to the channel and a dark subject matter today. The interrogation of Constable Odo by Mr. Garrick. Of course, Garrick and Odo are very different individuals. In a sense, both have a similar duty within their respective societies. Garrick was also an enforcer of the law, just in a very different way. Odo, of course, is basically a policeman. He's the chief security officer or constable of Deep Space Nine, previously Terok Nor under the Cardassians. But something happened between these two individuals. There was a little backstory here. An alliance between the Cardassian Obsidian Order and the Romulan Tal Shiar, their respective security agencies. It'd be similar to the CIA back in the day getting along and joint operation with the KGB. That's kind of what we're looking at here. And these two ruthless and efficient, brutal powers got together and thought, you know what would be great if we just destroyed the founders of the Dominion to prevent the war? I mean, to be honest, Section 31 came up with the same idea. It's not exactly unfounded, unintended, I'm sorry, no I'm not, as an idea, as a concept to do. It would actually work in a sense. But that being said, not everyone was on board with it, notably Odo, of course, because they're his people. So before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe, as this channel is currently growing and I need all the subscribers. And I've noticed, if you look at my analytics, a lot of the people who are watching this aren't subscribed, but keep coming back, which is a thing, I suppose. But you know, the more subscribers I get, the more I can do this. So, you know, I want to get those numbers up. So, subscribe. That's the end of that. Let's get into it. So basically, Garrick and Odo are aboard the USS Macon, a small Federation runabout. They're picked up by a Romulan warbird, and aboard that ship are both Romulans and Cardassians. One being the former mentor, and we would learn, spoilers, father of Elam Garrick, known as Enabran Tain. Tain was the former head of the Obsidian Order, who had the distinction of being the only head of the Obsidian Order to retire alive and not die. So good for him, I suppose. He was a very evil man and he didn't deserve that, but whatever. So Tain welcomes Garrick back into the fold, but they believe that Odo might have pertinent information for their mission, which was the extinction of his people. So they decide to interrogate him, but of course interrogating a changeling, as Garrick points out, is dangerous and difficult. Even though changelings have to revert back to their liquid state every 16 hours or so, well, they're not in a liquid state. He could transform into a razor beast, or he could stretch his arms out and strangle you. He could turn himself into a bear and just maul you. Or quite frankly, there's nothing you can do to hurt him. He can stay humanoid and just smother you if he really wanted to. You know, goop his hands over your face, go down your esophagus, whatever he wanted. There's not really much you could do to actually hurt him unless you have this device. A small device developed by the Obsidian Order as a prototype, which emitted a quantum stasis field. This information had been kept secret by the Obsidian Order from the Tal Shiar, because of course they kept it secret from them. Paranoia is kind of their way, it's their thing. Probably a good thing, to be honest, at this point, but that's besides the issue. This quantum stasis field interfered with the changeling's morphogenic matrix, preventing them from changing shape and keeping them set in whatever form they're in. Garrick specifically picked the time when Odo was due to revert back to his liquid state in order to do this. This meant that Odo would basically, it was like sleep deprivation to a changeling. Keeping someone awake as a basic primitive form of interrogation, not allowing them much sleep. It's the equivalent of that. It was preventing him from resting. And we know that changelings, if they don't revert back to the liquid state, will die eventually. It will kill them. So Garrick extracts this information because he knows that Odo is holding something back. And although his instincts tell him this, deep down Garrick knew probably wasn't something useful. It wasn't going to actually do it, but Garrick is a professional and he wasn't going to stop. And after hours and hours and hours of this, Odo was literally falling apart at this point, barely able to maintain his shape, but unable to revert back to his liquid state, thanks to this nasty device. And although eventually Garak did extract the information that he was after, even though it wasn't strategically viable, he turned the device off, and immediately, once the quantum stasis field dropped, Odo was able to revert back to his liquid state. Now, this video is not really about the interrogation in and of itself, it's more about the device. And every one of the powers, the Federation, not the Klingons for some reason, but everyone, the Cardassians, everyone seemed to have a go at making something that was a way to fight the Changelings. We know that Changelings were directly experimented on by Section 31. We know that they developed biogenetic weapons to be used against them. The Obsidian Order, of course, developed this quantum stasis field to prevent them changing shape. The Federation would develop modulated phasers that, on the right setting, could force a Changeling to revert back to its gelatinous state, and basically by causing it enough discomfort that no matter what form it was in, whether it was looking like a chair or it was looking like a cat, it had been so much discomfort it'd have to revert back to its liquid state. The other ones were other devices, these small spheres, that would basically destabilize it do the same thing and force them to reveal themselves, reverting back to their liquid state. Everyone seemed to have a go at making devices like this, but the Cardassians, of course, being Cardassians, went the other way. Everyone else was like, we want to reveal them, we want to know who's a changeling so we can turn them back to their goop and we can get rid of them, defeat them. Not the Cardassians. No, the Cardassians thought, how can we hurt a changeling? Because of course they did. And they succeeded. They made a device that, although I don't doubt that others had tried before, but they definitely succeed. In this case, the Cardassians definitely succeeded in creating this device. It never showed up again. My guess would be either the Changelings made damn sure that the blueprints for this thing were destroyed, probably before they even took over Cardassia, because they went after the Obsidian Order hard. The Tal Shiar knew nothing about it, and neither did Section 31, as far as we know, so neither of those two agencies had access to it, and the Klingons almost certainly didn't. They may have been able to capture it during the war, but again, I doubt it. And certainly after Cardassia joined the Dominion, any technology like this would have been expressly forbidden, and the Changelings would have made sure that it was destroyed, and anyone that knew how to make it was probably going to be disappeared. So, unique device, particularly brutal, very nasty, very Cardassian, I think. What do you guys think about it in the comment section down below? And have you watched that interrogation scene in that? I mean, there's the much more infamous one, of course, between Jean-Luc Picard when he was interrogated by Gul Madred, and that one is just that is an amazing moment. That's a great piece of acting. That was theater on Star Trek. It was amazing. This I don't think is quite the same sort of caliber, but certainly René Auberjonois and Andrew Robinson are fine actors, and they certainly carry the scene together extremely well. And although these two individuals as characters are very different people, they found some kind of connection between each other, even if it wasn't a good one in this moment. But that is the end of this video. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. And again, remember, I need those subscribers, so please like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon, because that is actually the real subscribe button. Subscribers are nice, but if you really want to get notified of any of the videos that come out on this channel, the bell icon is how you do that. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.